All righty, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Happy New Year to everybody. We're excited to get back on these mastermind meetings, and obviously today we're talking about kicking off the new year strong. 2022 to me, represents a brand new game. In sports, you always learned from the past game, but whether you had a great game or a bad game, you kind of learn from your mistakes, process that, and then apply that to the next year, but forget the rest. 2022 gives us a blank slate and a good opportunity to start strong and get after the goals that hopefully you guys all set for this year. If you haven't set any goals yet, now's the time to set some goals for the first quarter, the month of January, this week, even today. Once you have those set, let's make out a schedule for each day and week. And then the most important part is to have the discipline to remain consistent with that schedule. And then also, I think it's very important to get involved with the stuff that our company has to offer. Get on the Tuesday mastermind meetings, commit to coaching with either my uncle or grandfather, Tim and Jean. Attend the seminars that we're planning to go to this year. We got a bunch in the works. We're trying to hit one of those about each quarter, and we'll pass those out, in the coming months. And also attend our company training events that we're going to be having. Those are my 2 cents for today. With that being the case, I'm going to pass it over to Uncle Tim. We kind of talked about getting back to the basics, and that helps give you a good start.
Thank you, Brooks. Yeah, I mean, every year it's important to get back to basics. And, Brian Buffini wants you to contact your past customers, send out those handwritten notes. And I think that's one of the first seminars coming up, isn't it, Brooks, in March?
Yes.
In DC. So we want to support that as a company and see if we can get a lot of people to go to the Brian Buffini thing in March.
That one's actually in Richmond.
Richmond? Yep.
Yep.
Good. So Kong, what are you going to do to jumpstart and start the year out strong? What's 1 or 2 things that you have planned on your agenda as far as contacting people, handwriting notes? What are you going to do?
I'm going to prospect more here, at least in the first quarter, just to generate more listings for our team. And one of the things that I notice whenever I listen to other successful realtors all across the country mention that they do is keep track of their numbers. And that's one thing that I kind of slipped on a little bit. And I want to start doing that again. So we're going to keep track of our numbers. The daily sheet that Gene passes out, I suggest everybody use that. Try to get your contacts in every day. I made one up for myself. And if anybody ever wanted to borrow mine, you're more than welcome to. It's just something I created with a little schedule, and there's a to-do list on it. And what I do is every morning I write down what I have to do, my schedule, so that I'm not flipping on my phone. I can just look at this sheet, who I need to contact, and then notes that I have to make. For example, on my notes section, I'll write down who I spoke to that day, what we spoke about real quick, so that later, before I end the day, I can upload it into Booge and make my next call date for that note. So just a few things, again, just going back to basics there.
Okay, good. Sherry Anderson, you and Bill are enjoying the view down in Naples, Florida right now, but I'm sure you're not going to not work. So how are you going to kick off the new year strong, like you always do, because you've had great years for years and years and years? How are you balancing going away
Lost you. Hello.
and working?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Bill, can you talk? I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
I think we can hear you through Bill's maybe microphone.
Can you talk? You did.
Okay, let's mute Sherry for a second and we'll go to Michelle Snibet. Michelle, what are you going to do to kick off the new year strong? What's your plan of action this week?
This week, we are going through all of our potentials that we had lined up for 2022. So last year, anybody who said they were thinking about either buying or selling this year, obviously those are in our database listed as potentials. So yesterday we started by organizing all those people, categorizing them. And then today we will start by contacting them, any potential sellers. We'll see if they want an updated CMA on their house, where they stand. And buyers, see where they are. So we're starting with our potentials and contacting them. We have pop buys planned for next week and the following week. Just to kick off the new year. So we're really starting with reviewing our goals that we already wrote for this year, and then contacting any potentials that are slated for this year.
Okay. So Michelle, one last question. What is your goal per day for handwritten notes?
Per day right now is about 8 or 9. I'd say 8 to 10 notes per day.
Good.
Yeah.
And obviously with the pandemic the way it is, and this new form of the virus that's out, some people aren't getting as sick, but some people are. Are you reaching out to people to see how they're doing, how they're feeling, those type of things?
Absolutely. Yep. We'll reach out to them to see how they're feeling. Do they have any goals for the new year? What are your goals? Do you have anything big that you're planning to do? So just a conversation starter. But yeah, we'll check in on them also.
Sounds good. Thank you, Michelle.
Sure.
Let's try Bill and Sherry again. There you go.
Can you hear us now?
Yep, we can hear you.
Maybe our internet connection was bad here with 2 going on at the same time. I don't know. So you know me, Tim, I'm kind of not organized. So my big goal is to have more of a schedule, be more organized, follow up with past clients, because I think they're our most valuable asset. Why try to cultivate all these internet leads that we have no clue who they are? But when we have a client we've worked with, they have family, they have friends. So I think 75% of our goal this year is we have to do a better job of following up with past clients. Even when we've had closings, I know Sean Lutz has helped us a lot and encourages us, but we don't even ask them for reviews. So we really need to have a system in place, ask for reviews, post those reviews online, because when other agents would find me for referrals, they always look at the online reviews. So that's our biggest goal. And I know the whole Brian Buffini is all about following up with past clients. So I think probably the March, conference that he's doing is going to do a kickstart and really help us out in that area.
Good. Stacy, how about you? What are you and your team planning on doing here to get things kicked off for the new year?
We are kind of a hybrid of what's kind of been said. We are focusing on Popeyes here this week. We are reaching out to our past client database. We have a goal of 12 contacts a day between the group that we are reaching out to talk to. And we are focusing on 2 new neighborhoods that we have not targeted in the past in a different town than where we've seen a bulk of our inventory happen in years past. So we're going to go after those 2 neighborhoods pretty hard here, first and second quarter.
So when you're going after these neighborhoods, what are you going to do? Are you going to call, email, knock on doors? What's the game plan?
We have a calendar in place for these neighborhoods, and I would say it's about each 2 a quarter, maybe about twice a quarter. They'll be getting some type of a touch from us, whether it be in person, a drop by, or we actually have some fun surprises for the whole neighborhood in general that we're going to also be doing in the summer as a surprise.
Okay. All right. How about Kara? Kara, what's the game plan for the Kara Schaefer group as far as getting the New Year kicked off?
Well, good morning, Tim. What we are doing is really just getting more and more organized. As you know, I have a very large database and I'm going to finally utilize it because it's much easier than just, going out there. So I agree a lot with Sherry and a lot of the things that she had said. Our personalities probably from what she said this morning are very similar and aligned. I take your advice and you holding me accountable. I suggest everybody get a mentor or a coach because that way you can not only set your goals, but you go after them. So as far as myself and our group, we are doing the calls every day. That is our goal. And that's something that I think is important to touch for myself, my existing client base, because those are my folks. If they're happy with me, they'll, and if I can help other people the way I've helped them and what they see, then I'm bringing them value, and then they'll refer me. So it's not like I really even ask for the referral. I don't really even ask for the referral. I just call them to see how they're doing. How you doing? It's New Year. How you feeling? Right before Christmas, right before New Year's, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, that kind of thing. It's really all in the follow-up. I send a minimum of 3 cards a day. Like I make myself do that. And I make myself at least 5 calls a day. And that is also the goal of every one of my team members.
Okay, good. So you're doing minimum 5 calls a day and 3 cards a day. I know you're on the phone a lot more than that, but that's just literally out prospecting your people. But good, good. Yep. So it seems to be a theme here as far as a lot of the people that are working past clients and centers of influence. Jim Penny, congratulations. I understand you got a good lead for something a listing in Camp Hill coming soon.
Yeah, we had a listing appointment yesterday, Tim. I should know by Wednesday for sure whether or not we'll get it, but it sounds very positive.
Good.
It's on the same road where I sold one earlier this year.
Okay, that's good. That's encouraging. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And what are you planning on doing to kick off the new year?
Well, the first thing I did was I'm going through my Bouge database and I'm following up on people that I've talked to before that again said they may be ready to do something. I've had some good conversations. I think things are in the works that are going to happen. And I have a few deals that are carryovers here for January. So I feel like I'm starting off from a pretty good position.
Good, good. And Bobby Stevens, did you get your calendars out this year? Need to unmute you.
Yes, I did. I got the calendars out. I got my postcards out for time change and so forth. I still do 4 to 6 mailings a year, depending on what it might be. And phone didn't ring quite as much as I'd like in the latter part of the year last year. So I'm going to see if the phone is still working and try to make that happen again.
Bobby, I remember in 1992 when I went over to Jack Gone and you were working the bullpen area where I sat, and you would be standing up, pacing, holding that phone, talking to people. And you stood and walked while you talked to people all the time. Do you still make these calls every day?
I don't make them like I used to, but I still stand up when I am doing it, and I have a tendency to walk. I've decided that I don't need to go to exercising anymore. I just have to get on the phone.
Get back on the phone. Yep.
That's right.
Well, good. I'm glad you got your calendars out, and you said 4 to 6 mailings a year. And I'm sure that with the phone not ringing the latter part of the year, you make a couple calls to the new year, see how people are doing, how they're feeling. Stuff's going to start rolling in for you again.
I think the problem with the phone not ringing is that everybody else in this office is doing so damn well that I'm losing track here. So I just have to keep it going.
Yep. Yep. How about you, Mr. Dave White? How are you and the wife Patty doing? Are you doing anything special to kick off the new year as far as calls or mailings or handwritten notes?
We're doing pretty well. I'm actually following up on, as Michelle said, following up on some of the potential leads that I had from prospecting, where folks have mentioned that they're thinking about doing something in the new year. So following up on them, following up on folks that we sent the calendars to, and we've got a couple leads cooking, a listing coming on, and also have another appointment later this week. So the goal is to make 20 contacts at least per day, and you know, to help us meet our other goals.
Good for you. You know, one of the big keys my dad and I have always thought of in the new year is just, like I said, getting back to basics, putting yourself in motion, putting yourself in an uncomfortable position to do it all over again. Because sometimes, you know, after you've had a great year, you wonder, oh my God, am I going to be able to do this again? And the answer is yes, but you got to get back to work. So for those that took a little bit of a vacation over the last couple of weeks, by slowing down a little bit to spend time with the family and holidays, we certainly understand that. But it is January 4th, and it is time to go back to work. So Dad, what do you think a good way to get started in kicking off the new year is? Got to unmute you. Brooks, can you unmute him?
Yeah, I'm working.
We're getting Poppy unmuted here for a second. Okay, there you go, Dad. All right, speak loud, Dad.
Well, anyways, you know, the center thread to everybody saying what they're saying is consistency. You've got to be very consistent in what you're doing on a daily basis. The key to all of it is your past clients and your centers of influence. They're the ones that help you the most. If you would track your numbers, you're going to find out that somewhere between 65 and 75% of your business is coming from your past clients and centers of influence. So it's ultra important that you have at least 8 touches with them a year. This isn't me speaking. This is what I've learned over the years from Tim and I paying $1,000 a month to be professionally trained. And by the way, we're offering that to you for nothing. All you have to do is spend a half an hour of your time with either Tim or myself, and we'll be happy to share with you what we've learned over the years. Some of the greatest things that you can do is go through the scripts and dialogues that we gave you, because everybody is making the calls. How good are you at answering the objections when somebody gets on the phone and gives you something that you're not used to? And how good are you at the follow-up scripts that allow you to get that appointment after you've contacted these people for the first time? These things are key to your success in becoming a great agent. You are all great agents at this point. We want to make you the best of the best. And guess what? You're already there. According to national average, it's 6 deals a year. Our office per person is 22 deals per person a year. That is totally outstanding, and kudos to all of you for a great last year. Let's do it again this year.
So Kathy and Kong, Kathy, if you can unmute yourself too. What can we do as far as getting more people involved who want to role play a little bit with the objection handlers and scripts and dialogues? Are we going to set up a weekly time for that? I know, Kathy, you and Keith Prairie were doing that a little bit. Is that continuing on now in the new year? that we're going to do it live in the conference room, or is it something that we could do live in the conference room, set up the conference room with a Zoom call for those that are out of the area that want to participate? Is that something we can do?
Sure, we can absolutely set something up, and not just that, but role play a listing appointment and stuff like that, just to help anybody out. So we can absolutely start doing that.
Okay, so let's get a
Currently,
consistent date. Yeah.
currently, Tim, we have Thursdays at 9:30, I
Okay.
believe is when we do it.
All right.
And that's what we've been, so far. It's been Thursday
Mhm.
mornings at 9:30.
Who's been participating in that?
Keith, Tim Lagertio, Jim Penny, and
Okay.
myself so
All right.
far. If I forgot somebody, I apologize, but
Yep.
Yes.
So let's continue that Thursdays at 9:30, and then let's try to incorporate that into a Zoom situation too, that if there's somebody from at home that wants to participate in that, they can listen in or role play with you. Yep.
okay.
Yep. John Shannon, Happy New Year to you, buddy.
Happy New Year, Tim.
Good. Is there anything we can do to support you, or what can we do to help get you kick-started off for the new year? What's your goal and plan?
Well, I basically had 3, and most of those have already been talked about.
Okay.
I send out the Christmas calendars, so I do want to touch base with those folks. And of course, you had the leads from last year that say next year we're thinking about doing something.
Yep.
And one of the things that I feel like I haven't been doing that I should is trying to build that database. I have a good sized database now, having done this for quite a while. And so maybe that's the reason I've become a little lackadaisy about adding new people to that database. But that's something that I want to try to focus on here for this year, is putting some folks in there and building that thing up a little more, and just having that conversation. If you were a friend, a family member, whoever needed a real estate agent, do you have somebody you'd refer them to, and just start the conversation?
Yep. Thank you for bringing that up, John, because that is an important thing. And I think that's actually, I'm not sure if I have that in my emails that I send out or not, but adding somebody to your database each week is very important. Even if it's one person a week, it's adding 50 more people a year to your database. So thank you for bringing that up. That's definitely important to make sure that everybody's doing that, trying to put one more center of influence person that they've met and talked to in their database. Keith LaPrairie, are you able to unmute? I know we can't see your smiling face, but are you there? Keith, are you there? I know you had a great year this year. Congratulations. If I see you unmute, I'll come back to you. But let's just see, who else do we got here?
Morgan McGinnis down there, Tim, that's had a great year in the business.
Who's that?
Morgan McGinnis.
Oh, Morgan, there you go. You look like you're unmuted. Morgan, what are you going to do to kickstart your year?
I am not only going to try to do more phone calls. I don't like doing phone calls, and I feel like I'm personally not good at it. So I definitely would be interested in joining via Zoom, that training with like role playing and reading the scripts. But aside from everything that everyone else has talked about, something that I'm trying to implement this year is expressing gratitude more. So I've been reading a lot of books and listening to audiobooks because I'm constantly in the car like I am today. And everywhere that I look, it's like, express gratitude. So it says to physically like write it down. So I bought a journal, and every night before bed, I'm writing down like things I'm thankful for, both in my personal life and with real estate. And I think it's just one of those things where like you manifest greatness when you're thankful to the universe, and to God, then more good things will come to you. So I'm trying to implement that as well, in addition to, all of the business aspect of things.
Wonderful, good. And did I hear you say in the beginning there that you were reading this in a book? What book
Yeah,
is it?
I've been reading
book is it
stuff
that you're
and then
reading?
listening to audiobooks, when I'm driving because I'm constantly in the car. So rather than listen to the radio, if I'm not on the phone, then I've been trying to listen to audiobooks.
Yep, good. Thank you for bringing
Great
that up.
habit.
That's a great thing to do, and my father and I have talked about that for years. As far as just right here, like is Think and Grow Rich is sitting right on my desk, and we
Yeah,
also
it's
like. Yep, go ahead.
I think that there's always something to learn. So every time that I'm reading a book, it's like, oh, it like always mentions another book. So then I write that book down, and then when I finish the first one, I go to the next one that they've like mentioned. And that Thinking You're Rich, I've had 2 books mention that book. So it's on the list.
Good. And you'll get a surprise when we talk about that at the Kickoff the New Year party on Friday night about Think and Grow Rich. Another good audio book, if you want to download it with Apple, would be Lead the Field by Earl Nightingale. If you've never listened to that, it's a great audio book to listen to, Lead the Field. So, Stacy, you were holding up something. What was it? I couldn't read it.
That's okay. It was a sign for Morgan. It just said we love Morgan.
Oh,
we love her energy and her positivity. And when she uses that word manifest, we just get all the feels.
Okay. Good. So, Aaron, are you able to get a hold of Jeff and get the conference room upstairs here set up with a web camera so that Kathy and Kong can include the people that are wanting to do role playing through Zoom involved in that meeting?
Do that.
We can order another one of these cameras like Jeff had ordered for me. All right, good. All right, is there anybody else that has a good Kickoff the New Year book or audio book that they would like to tell us about or share real quick?
I do, Tim.
Oh, good. Okay, good, Michelle.
Yeah, there's one called One Word. It's a small read. It's a red book, and one word is focused on choosing that one word for the year that you're going to focus on, live by, means something to you. But I read it every year, and then we choose a word every year. This year, my word will be compassion.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great read. It's easy, but it just tells a little bit more about choosing that one word for the year to focus on.
Thank you. So obviously your word's compassion and Morgan's is gratitude, right, Morgan? Yep, gratitude. All right. So other than that, guys, thank you for participating in the first call of the year. The Kickoff the New Year party is Friday night at 6 o'clock. Hopefully everybody's able to make it. No hugs, just fist bumps at this party, and we'll try to stay safe. And we've got some great entertainment lined up for you, some good food, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that we have planned for each quarter this year, and we're going to go over some awards. So hopefully we're going to get to see you guys all at the party Friday night. We look forward to that. Dad, any closing remarks?
No, other than I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there too. And just remember, consistency is everything. When you do it on a daily basis, you cannot lose. So please be consistent. Have a great, great day.
And we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.